People that have rights and women, welcome to a brand new episode of the Unhinged podcast. Oh, damn, that's an intro for the ages, I would say. What do you think, woman?
I had to very specifically remain quiet as the male was talking.
No,
don't
enable me.
To speak.
Please, don't do this.
Now that I have permission to speak, I say, here. Yeah. I'm gonna go make a sandwich.
So today's podcast, we are going to be talking about... What?
Oh, nothing.
Today's podcast, we are going to be talking about misinformation, media biases, and Trump absolutely kind of proving that the mainstream media is full of horse shit. So that is today's good topic. We got some...
And Kotaku.
We got Kotaku bullshit. We got Hollywood bullshit. We got America bullshit. We got game journalism bullshit. We got...
What number do you think the polls even pulled from? Like, do you like...
Honestly, you want to know my honest opinion?
Yeah.
I think they made up the polls. I think they got a political analyst, which is a fake job, to decide what poll would sound legitimate, but put Harris in the lead enough to make more people want to be part of the winning party and vote for Harris. That's my incredible
You know what's really funny?
I personally don't know a single person that has ever polled in one of these things.
Yeah, absolutely not. I have got a shit ton of polls, but I was like, trash.
Dude, no one polls because it's irrelevant. Why should I poll? Like, why does that matter? It's not going to change anything.
You know, that's actually something we actually semi-agree on, because I had somebody talking to me and they were extremely worried about how close the polls were and everything. And I was like, they're probably they're just curating the polls to make it look like it's close, so you're motivated to go vote.
True. Well, you were right, but the other way.
The other way. The bro vote came in strong. Dude, when I saw that phrase, the bro vote, I was like, bro.
I don't know about the bro vote, but interestingly enough, in our previous episode of the Unhinged podcast, best podcast on YouTube, of course, if you remember, we made something of a bet, you and I. You bet that Kamala Harris would win, and I bet Trump would win.
We didn't make that bet.
We made that bet. Our egos were on the line.
You bitched out like a little pussy.
I felt bad to take your money.
Exactly.
You'll need it all. You'll need all the money you can get now that Trump is in office.
No. Yes.
Tariffs, baby. No,
can't wait to spend $20 for my milk that came from China.
Yeah, sure. Those Chinese cows, they're gonna be paid real good. Yeah. No, you
don't get the glory. You don't get the glory of accepting the bet after
me being right and you being wrong is worth so much more than $100.
Well, you do get that though. You do get that. You just don't get.
I was right. You were wrong. I pre-watched. You were wrong.
You're right.
You are a media sheep. I was a based, enlightened X user.
Okay. Apparently X has more power than I was giving it credit for.
X has a crazy amount of power. The good thing is it's not real.
Yeah. Things aren't real until enough people believe they're real. Then they become very real. Yeah. Humanity is fun.
I love humanity.
But hold on. I just want to clarify though, because everybody in my community and all your glorious community members that are coming to check me out, they want me to do bets with you. So I want them to know that wasn't technically a bet. I tried to bet you, but you bitched out. So don't take that from them.
I only bet glory and ego. I don't bet money. I don't like gambling. I am opposed to gambling. Unless it's XQC gambling. Did you hear XQC gambled?
Didn't he gamble on?
He bet $700,000 on Harris, and
then he tried to cancel it.
Yeah, he gambled all that, and because he asked Destiny, and Destiny was like, "Oh yeah, definitely bet on Harris. I think it's like a 65% chance Harris is gonna win." Yeah, that didn't work out very well for the juicer.
It's actually really funny because I actually thought Harris was gonna win for kind of different reasons. Like, I kind of figured that everyone was just sick of all the the negativity and everything. And,
so my analysis,
all the hate speech.
I'm no political analyst here or anything.
Yeah.
But one opinion
better than me, apparently.
Well, no, much better than you, obviously. Yeah. But then again, I'm better than all the actual political analysts because everyone said Harris was gonna win.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be the topic of the discussion.
That's crazy.
Because because it's fucking media misinformation. Like that's literally what happened, and it's so crazy to see how, like in real time, it's been disproven. But the reason why I wanted to say it, I just think people are simple, generally speaking. Yeah. Not everyone is super knows what's going on politically, and therefore most people will be like, well, the last 4 years were shit. Let's have a change. I really think that's what it comes down to. Like, and the last 4 years were shit everywhere. Yeah. Not just inflation, war. Like, what else?
2 wars, double the war.
Way more than 2 wars.
More war.
Yeah. So yeah, the whole world went Game of Thrones for a bit there, and people just wanted to change. I think. I really think it's as simple as that.
I absolutely agree with you. I think when it comes down to it, the vast majority of people in the world are just trying to live their day-by-day life, and when that day-by-day gets disrupted, it's a
like
big
ultimately
problem.
Most people don't really care who wins, the blue satanic pedophiles or the red satanic pedophiles, and it all just comes down to I want to spend less money on my bread. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and like there was that whole thing about Bernie Sanders pretty much just slapping down everybody, like the Democratic Party as well, which essentially boiled down to the fact that it's like the Democratic Party was too busy focusing on these like social issues or whatever, and that just felt so far away from the real problems that people were facing day to day, right?
Yeah. And when the focus and worry is on like identity politics, but people literally cannot afford rent or food, it's like it's just a matter of perspective on what's like really important to a lot of people. But that's not really the topic of the discussion. It's not talking about why you were completely and utterly wrong about your prediction last week. That is not what we're going to be talking about. We are going to be talking.
He's had so much fun. He's had so much fun letting me know. He dropped his dick down and he's like, tell me how great it is.
In the last episode, I said, I think Trump is going to win. And you said, well, I've done an entire analysis. You gave me this whole freaking chest puffed out moment explaining to me all your deep... anyway, it just made it even better. So anyway, listen, Trump is not in office yet. You still have rights. So that's pretty good.
What? You deserve this. You deserve this moment. Have it.
I am.
Enjoy it.
I will.
Bathe in it.
I am.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
One day when I'm right, I'm going to put my heel on your neck.
If you're right.
I want you to know that. It will happen. It will happen.
Listen, I'm just saying, months ago, probably maybe a year ago, my grandfather said to me, Trump is going to be the next president of the United States unless they kill him first. And oh my God, dude, he literally said that a year ago. He's shaking.
Like, I know.
Oh my God.
I know. Yeah, it's actually interesting. For the most part, I actually thought that Trump was going to win because he was saying all the things that the people wanted to hear. Yeah. But then it was like when Harris came in, I was like, oh, she's doing the whole
and also she's doing so well in the polls. All the polls are good. I see the blue arrow going up and the red arrow going down. MSNBC said, dude, there was this guy from MSNBC. I don't know any of their names because they're not real humans. They're fucking media puppets. They're not real.
Yeah, they're just. So when are the AI bots taking over that?
Maybe they already did.
They might.
So this dude is a doctor, professor, the political analyst guy, and he goes up there and he talks about how Trump is unelectable and he has no chance aside from a few 100,000 sycophants in the country that love him. No one will ever support him.
Ooh, he really underplayed that.
Underplayed that? He has zero credibility now, in my opinion. I have zero respect for him. He completely ate what they fed him and he regurgitated it.
That's kind of the really crazy unhinged. Hey, look where we're at. The unhinged thing that I've kind of came across too. Everybody kind of, I don't know, America is just so extreme in a lot of circumstances right now, publicly facing. When it comes to the media, when it comes to social media, when it comes, it's like they take the most extreme stance. But at the end of the day, when you talk to the average person, it's not like everybody that voted for Trump was some crazy unhinged person. They're a lot of the times it is just as you said, it's somebody who is living day to day and didn't they were living rent to rent, paycheck to paycheck
also,
under Biden.
I hate to say it, but people really don't like being gaslighted and lied to. And we're living in a world where every media has literally just been exposed for gaslighting and lying to the entire nation. The news, which is, obviously we all know at this this point it's biased, but we at least thought it was somewhat real, okay?
Yeah. Now they're just making stories.
And it wasn't just a Trump victory. It was a massacre.
Landslide.
It was a bloodbath. It was
the Red Wedding.
It was the Red Wedding, literally. Oh my God. Holy crap. Bro pulled up like Madara and dropped some nukes on the Electoral College. Like, it was actually insane. He won the popular vote in the House and the Senate. Bro pulled a fucking Palpatine out there.
It was like the first time in 20 years since a Republican has won a popular vote to do he
like, that's insane. So for me, it's not even that he won by that amount, that like insane margin. It's that all the media said he was losing. All of them.
Yeah.
Every single one. Like,
exactly.
Not even. It's insane. Even the political
wasn't
commentators
even like
that. Like,
wasn't
I'll
even
give you an
Fox
example.
News starting to turn against him too, or what? Am I wrong on that?
I
don't know. I could be I could be wrong on that. I just thought I saw it once upon a time a headline.
Even independent people like Vosh, Destiny, Hassan, all these people are like leftist commentators. Yes, they all hate each other, but irrelevant.
It's kind of isn't it so funny that the left side commentators are all at war with each other, whereas like the right side are all like unified.
Yeah, I mean, so every once in a while, someone crashes out a little bit, and then they kick him out of the club. But like, you got your Steven Crowders and shit. But
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, he was kicked out of the club. Let's just say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had some crazy shit. They caught him on camera, like yelling at his pregnant wife in like a really disgusting way, and then he tried to like sue the Daily Wire or something, and then they were like, "All right, you're out of the club," and that was it. But anywho, the leftist, the trio, like the Vosh, Destiny, Hassan people, the craziest thing is all of them were fooled by the polls and the media. Yeah. They were all fooled, and they're independent. They aren't paid to present in a certain way, but they completely fell for it. All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
information biased, it kind of just instills itself into you, right? Like at the end of the day, you hear all this stuff going a certain way and whatnot, and it kind of just almost infects you in a certain way, right? Like
it does. It is infectious, and it's crazy how powerful it is. It really is crazy how powerful it is. See, here's the thing. See, now that social media is like, it's a new age version of the media, right? So I think to some extent, we don't yet realize all the bullshit we see on social media. Like, we mostly believe it. I saw this one tweet. Some girl posted a picture of a guy and was like, "This guy raped, zero evidence," and got 500,000 likes on her tweet. Like, I don't know if it's true or not, but that dude's life is ruined.
And that's extremely the sad part about everything, right? There really is no checks and balances about the things you can say. And I think, didn't we kind of touch on this? Or maybe I just ranted about it to somebody else. But literally nowadays, especially with social media, and worse off now with mainstream media, but you can literally be somebody that has no checks and balances to what you say, having millions of followers, and you say something, and even if a fraction of that base believes you, that's still a giant flood of people that is targeting somebody, right?
Wait, you could just say lies on the internet and get away with it? Who would do such a thing?
Yeah. Go figure. It makes me giggle because I remember growing up or a phase in my long godly life. But there was a phase in the timeline where everybody was constantly, the older generation was constantly being like, you shouldn't believe anything you say on the internet. You should never believe anything you say on the internet.
True.
And then Facebook came around, and then all those people got on the internet, and they can't help but believe everything they see on the internet.
It's so true. But I think the difference is because people on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, they see a tweet and they're like, "Oh, a real person said this," you know? And like, for example, Elon Musk, a lot of his tweets were proven to be promoting false narratives. A lot of them. I saw this one video on YouTube. Some guy made a video saying 12 lies that Elon Musk believed in the last 24 hours. I was like, what? And he went through like 12 Elon Musk retweets where he just like retweets it and says the word yes or whatever. And then he looked through that story, and it was ended up getting debunked. Like, it was a really
and some of them aren't
video.
and some of them aren't even like that you look at these things that he was agreeing with and you're like, there's no way that's real, kind of thing. But the fact of the matter is, there is a lot of people who look at somebody like Elon Musk and they think to themselves, "Oh, he's made a shit ton of money. He's clearly a successful man. He knows what he's talking about. So ergo, I'm gonna believe him." And then that's the end of the journey, right?
True. See, the good thing is about our relationship is I don't believe a word you say.
As you should.
Like, what are you gonna you do.
As you should. As my community also is with you on that.
Oh,
I tell them I'm gonna start streaming at a certain time, and they know that that's like 30 minutes earlier than what I'm actually going to stream, because I'm gonna be late always, all the time.
Yeah.
But like. And the thing is, too, though, like, mainstream it does kind of play on the same kind of rule book. And it's interesting because I think we're at a point in society now, too, where there's going to be quite the collision. Because now mainstream media, which is supposed to be the reputable job, has been caught lying over. And yeah, there was quotes around that.
No, but they've been caught lying on the biggest, most important event in America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
And that's going to create such an interesting effect now, though, right? Because you could argue that if you looked at somebody...
There were leftist YouTubers that complained after the election that they lost 5,000 subscribers the next day. Because they were peddling the information that it wasn't even close, Harris is going to win. And after the audience sees the complete opposite of that happen, like, they're going to be like, oh, this guy was literally just giving me misinformation. I was getting all my news from this guy for the last 3 months, and it ended up literally all being wrong. Like, I'm not sticking around. Like, I think the mainstream media definitely took a big hit to their credibility on this one, for sure. Like, for sure.
Absolutely. And they're at the absolute worst time, because now what in a grand scale kind of just happened is that
be giving tariffs to CNN. MSNBC will be paying us tariffs if they want to talk about Americans.
You get a tariff. You get a tariff. Everybody gets a tariff.
Yeah.
But it kind of showcases, because the thing about social media is you could theoretically just say whatever the hell you want, and then maybe you took a hit, maybe you didn't. Maybe you grew bigger, maybe you lost some subscribers. But like, mainstream media was supposed to have that reputation, like the credibility.
For some reason,
it didn't matter.
People expected mainstream media, sure, they could have biases, but they'll at least tell the truth. Maybe they won't present every fact, but the facts they do present will be facts.
Yep. Journalistic integrity was supposed to be a real thing, right?
But now there's zero of that at all.
Well, now people are going to ask themselves, especially when X and Elon and stuff were supporting Trump and everything. Well, now people are going to ask themselves, well, why the F do I care about mainstream media when social media was clearly the place that was right?
Yep, 100%.
Right? And now...
God, I hope that doesn't give any more power to Twitter. Oh, God.
Oh, it probably will.
God. Oh, you're right. Oh, man, I didn't even think of that. Oh, no. I don't want Twitter to be important. Oh, man.
Yeah, or, any social media, which... I don't know, like, because how do you win back the idea that journalistic integrity is at play?
I think it's people. I think that's where this is all heading. Like, when you watch MSNBC or CNN or Fox News or whatever, any of those, you are watching the network. You're not watching the person. I think ultimately power is kind of returning to the people. Like, people are going to watch individuals, you want to watch leftist politics, they're going to end up going to, Destiny, let's say. If you want to watch right-wing politics, then they end up going to Ben Shapiro. An individual is suddenly going to hold so much more power in what they say, because ultimately they have a reputation. And unless they're caught being obviously wrong or motivated by some external factor, like, I don't know, Tim Pool getting paid Russian money to promote Russian propaganda, for example, allegedly, like something like that, which might perhaps get people disillusioned with their coverage. Like, other than that, people are going to find their favorite sources of information, and they're just going to continue learning about American politics through the Asmongold Twitch channel.
Yep, my favorite. Yeah. But yeah, like, and that's
anyone learning politics from Asmongold is part of an inferior culture.
Oh, Asmongold, the greatest prophet of the political philosophy.
I'm telling you, Asmongold reacted to Trump getting shot before Trump got shot. Like, I'm telling you, man. That dude is so fast.
Well, wasn't there like a whole, speaking of mainstream media and stuff, right? Wasn't there a whole thing a while back where literally there was a meme that the mainstream media couldn't even keep up with Asmongold? Like, Asmongold was turning out so much.
And the craziest part? Asmongold was accurate and the mainstream media was not. Asmongold immediately published that Trump got shot. Okay, that's where I got the information. I think
that's where I got the information,
I got it from
too,
Asmongold.
actually.
I opened up YouTube, and the first thing I recommended was Trump got shot with Asmongold in the corner. That was literally it. A few hours later, I see articles, and the articles are all Trump falls down after loud noises on stage. Yeah. Bro, loud noises on stage falls down. Like, what the hell, man? These are the people that are telling you that Biden was completely, in control of his mental faculties for the last 4 years. Like, bro.
Yeah. And especially when you get into situations where it's such blatant.
Like, that's fake. It's fake. Yeah. You're lying. You're just lying now. I don't trust you ever. Oh my God.
Yep, exactly. And it's crazy because it is probably going to usher in like a whole new era of, and it is going to probably give individuals an insane amount of power because let's be honest.
Yeah. And it's the
really
individuals that are known for their like connection with their audience too. Giving power to the individuals is better for another reason. Suddenly, star power and like celebrity power is dwindling as well because much like the mainstream media, which is all like a facade of smoke and mirror show, as it has been proven, celebrities are literally professional liars and actors. They are professional. They act. Their job is making believe they're someone else. This is the person you're going to believe for their political opinions.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you got the whole freaking Diddy party supporting Kamala. It didn't help jack shit. Like, we're watching a turning point in history where power is kind of returning to the people in a weird way. I mean, not all people, like not women, because
no, that's getting taken away. We need to be in the kitchen. We need to be popping out some babies. What do you mean? Because we have to fight the population collapse.
How many babies you have planned for 2025, Hermes?
Probably none. That you gotta have to talk to Zeus on that one. Zeus is the one that pops out all the babies. All right.
Got it.
That's her agenda.
Yeah.
Nah, but and they really just dug their own grave on that, right? Like, because they destroyed their own credibility, which makes people question, well, why the frick do I care about this? Especially when you're wrong. Especially the same, right? We're having a blast. We're having a talk back to Dragon Age Origins, right? Like,
I want to get to gaming journalism in a bit for sure.
Yeah, like the act of talking to people like fucking toddlers and saying stuff that we all know is fake, as you said with Trump falling down, like Big Bang, Trump falls down. You read that and you're like, do you think I'm
stupid?
I'm pretty sure.
Do you think I'm gonna read this and just believe you that you manipulated this situation so much, like to make it look like a whole ass other thing?
Yeah, especially in a situation where there is like an assassination attempt, right? Like that should have been a scenario that was an American situation. It really shouldn't have been about who it was, what thing. And of course, even in the realm of bias, you could still report it the way it is.
That's what I'm saying. At least the facts, bro. Like, if you're biased, whatever. We all know you're biased, okay? But the facts. And the thing is, how much wrong information are we getting in other places that we just take for granted, okay? There are a lot of, like, really important things that there's no way for us to properly figure out what's real and what's not, okay? Most people are not in Israel-Palestine. Most people are not in Russia-Ukraine. Most people are not aware of exactly global warming and stuff like that and climate change and like a lot of pollution, a lot of really big things that are going on that are real, but we don't know anything firsthand. And we're relying on these people that are obviously lying to us to tell us what's happening and what's important.
Yeah.
Like, and how far do their lies go? Like, we just caught them with their pants down on this, okay?
Mm-hmm. Like, and I think one of the people that takes the hardest hits, which is extremely sad on this front, is the people that do have those facts and the scientists that know about like the reality about climate change or like the economist that know about how things are going to affect the economy. Like the people that actually have the degrees, that actually done the research, that actually know. It's not like they can call up a news station now and be like, "Hey, I can be a source for you." And then the media can broadcast that information because now nobody believes the media anymore. It's so true. I guess they could try to.
It goes to such a crazy extreme. All right, another example of obvious media biases and lies. When COVID happened, it was not published that there were side effects to the vaccines, and there were. There were obviously side effects to the vaccines. In retrospect, that's just a fact. And they kept talking about how there aren't really side effects to vaccines. Okay.
Yep.
And that ended up not being true. So a lot of people saw that there were side effects to the vaccines, and the media didn't say there were side effects to the vaccines. And then people went full-ass anti-vaxxers the other direction. I don't trust the media for nothing. I ain't even giving my kids polio vaccines, right? And then they go completely fucking bananas off the deep end. The other. Like, it works on both sides. I don't want to be fed lies, and I don't want to assume everything's lies. And our metrics for this are gonna change. It's gonna change to first-hand experiences on social media, which are also likely lies. But at least it's not government-paid lies.
Yeah. Yet.
I don't know. Yet.
Like, yeah. And I don't know, man. It really is going to be an extremely interesting, I mean, for everybody else, because I just play video games at this point.
I'm going to make a lot of content.
On reality.
I love the chaos. I love the fucking meltdowns. I'm literally here for it.
I get it through you and Asmongold at this point.
The moment there is peace and unity in this world, I will retire. I'll be like, my duty is done. I've annoyed people enough.
I'm gonna just be enjoying my video game. I'm gonna be playing it away. I've already checked out in life.
True.
I'm like, no, what's going on? I'll look over, my dashboard's pinging. You and Asmon are talking about some drama, and then of course I don't watch any of your videos. I just DM you and I say, hey, what's going on? You know.
Yeah, it's very annoying. Please stop doing that. Just watch my videos.
No, that's a lot of work. There's no connection. You know, we're building a bond here. We got.
I don't want a bond. I don't want a bond. Go away.
You have a bond. We are all bonded. We are all up in the mix of bondage.
Sometimes I feel like you're stuck to me like a hemorrhoid. Just can't get away. Just crawl up in there and just stay there for weeks.
You have some weird fantasies, my guy.
That's not a fantasy. That's a
the fact that your brain went there after I talked to you. Oh, you have mental issues?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I'm
One
sorry.
of them is called Hermes.
Accurate.
True.
Accurate.
You
and
are
don't
my
you forget
brain
about
worms.
that. Good. I'm so glad. I've worked really hard to be in this position. I have all the power now.
God, she missed the opportunity to say she's inside me. Big dub. Anyway, moving on. Other
obvious.
At
least I didn't want heavy-handed.
Obvious journalistic integrity is dead. I really think that the Trump win definitely exposed a lot of charlatans out there. I don't think there's anyone that really believes media at this point, and that's lovely.
Yep.
I've been waiting for that for a while. Seeing the whole. Did you see the Avengers Assemble group call? All the Avengers got together to support Kamala.
No.
Oh
I saw the aftermath. Like, I saw the memes where people were talking about it, but I was thinking that it was like each of the individual ones.
They got together and they're
good.
like, guys, we have come together. And then one of the Avengers was like, no, we've assembled. And then there was like silence.
Oh no.
And like, these are the people that are supposed to tell us about what's important. And the funny thing is, like, dude, what's his name? Mark Hamill, I think. Like, that dude, I think he was like Luke Skywalker or something in Star Wars. And he tweeted,
maybe.
He tweeted like this whole thing. I thought a leader is supposed to reflect its people, and it's like, bro, he literally got the popular vote. Like, what kind of echo chamber are you living in to think that bro doesn't represent the majority of the people? Like, dude, he won. Yeah. He won everything. Like, this was a bloodbath. He won everything. Wake up from your delusions.
Yeah, I think the House is still yet to be called, though. But everything else so far.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking wild.
Well, you know, I am kind of curious, and if people are listening this far and curious to comment down below, I am curious to know how many people voted for Trump just because of seeing games like Dragon Age get forced into...
No one voted for Trump because of Dragon Age.
No, I mean...
DEI,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, just like games or movies or something that were forced into a very heavy-handed DEI situation. And they were like...
DEI, technically, it's a nice way to say that we're propping up women and minorities and gay people. Yeah. But... Alternatively, you can describe DEI much simpler as we are not hiring white men. Like that is the alternate translation. Like it looks inclusive, but it's discrimination in disguise.
Well, and that's kind of the sad part about it, right? Like, at the end of the day, what it should always be about is hiring people based on their qualifications and, like their competence and stuff like that. And I think it only turns into a really bad look when you try to force something you don't really understand. Like, and then as
a really good analogy to this, right now, Arcane Season 2 is going on. Are you watching Arcane?
Not yet. I do want to watch it, though.
10 out of 10. Masterpiece.
Yeah.
Top 3 animated shows of all time. You should watch it.
Top 3?
Yeah. Western animated shows. Top 3 Western animated shows of all time.
Yeah, I'll absolutely watch it, though, because I could talk about Arcane Season 1 like crazy.
So
just
good.
because of how they wrote Jinx and her like insanity.
Dude, they did it better. They're still cooking. They're cooking so much.
Dude, it's
3 episodes are out and they are cooking.
But, I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
Anyways, goodbye. I'm gonna go watch that now.
In Arcane Season 2, don't worry, I won't spoil. In Arcane, there are lesbians as 2 of the main characters. Okay, and there is probably the biggest badass in the entire show is a black woman, and I do not see anyone complaining about
because it's well written.
I'm sure you're gonna have your fringe people complaining, your extremists. Okay, whatever. But it's art. It's a brilliant show. It's a masterpiece in political commentary. It's a brilliant animation. It does a fantastic job with the source material. At least so I've heard.
I don't play League, but
are phenomenal. The story is amazing. Like, it makes me tear up like once an episode. The music, the choreography, the color direction. But I could literally go on forever talking about how good Arcane is. And obviously, because of that, no one is complaining. Gay main characters, badass black woman. Like, no one has these as issues at all. You know why? Because it's not being forced down your throat.
That is exactly
it's not like
that is 100%.
You don't have Mbessa or whatever her name is standing up there and being like, despite being black and a woman, I am going to be badass. She has never said that. She's just badass. She proves it.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Exactly. And
it's like you don't have like these long dialogue scenes of Vi talking to Caitlyn and being like, it's like, is it okay if we are seen together, even though we are 2 women? Yes. Yeah. I won't let society stop us from being who we truly are. There's no dialogue like that. You don't have any of that. None of it. Then you go to Dragon Age, and you have, like, I like the way you smell. Bro, it's just silly, man.
It's 100% that. Like, show, don't tell. Whenever you're writing a story, whenever you're making a game, whenever you're doing anything creative, show, don't tell. When you tell, it sounds like you're fucking trying to hurt a toddler or some shit. And it is the worst kind. And that's what I think it is. I think the whole, sadly, again, so many good intentions. Like, I think.
I disagree.
I think, well,
I disagree. Like, I'm going to be the narcissistic chaos fuck over here. I don't think it's good intentions.
It could all just be for money or politics or something.
I'm leaning more towards the politics thing. I don't even think it's money. I used to think it's money. I've fallen off that trail of thought. Because
I do think, like, at the end of the day, like, I think equality is a great idea. To try to
I'll let you get away with that now, but once Trump gets elected, no, I'm kidding. No, equality is great, obviously. Respecting everyone for who they are is great, okay?
Yeah,
again.
And that should be a no-brainer, right? Yeah. And the reality of the world is, obviously, people aren't born equal. The world isn't equal. And to try to strive for a mentality of accepting people for who they are, obviously, it's a good intention kind of thing. But it does not help the situation. Nobody wants to be more open when you're destroying their childhood games, when you're wrecking movies, all because of this heavy-handed, we're back to the, like you said, you don't want to be told what to do, right? It doesn't feel good when
I want to be a strong, independent woman. And it's not easy. But it's not just that I don't want to be told what to do or what to feel or have it shoved down my throat
or being treated like a toddler,
treated like an idiot. It's like it treats you like you're a bad person.
That too, it villainifies you.
It really does. Like, I feel like a bad person when I play games like fucking Dragon Age. When I saw that clip, okay, I'm not even talking about the one where lady called her instead of they or whatever, and did like 5 push-ups to apologize or any of that. I'm not even talking about that. There was like this one scene. It's like a 20-minute scene of this person having dinner with their parents and being like, I am non-binary. And then the mother is like, non-binary? What is that? Are you a man or a woman? And then the child is like, neither. I am non-binary. And then the parent is like, you mean like you're trans? And then the kid is like, no, I'm non-binary. It's another thing. I am neither. And it's like, oh my fucking God, this is fucking Game of Thrones. Why are they having this discussion? Like, oh my Lord. Didn't have any of that shit. And even
in that way too, right? Like even in that kind of back and forth dialogue, it's like it's not even mildly bad writing. It is like the worst writing I've ever. Actually, you know what? It's so bad that they should honestly get a star. Like,
and then let me introduce you to mainstream media bullshit. Dragon Age of Veilguard got a 9 out of 10 on IGN when Black Myth Wukong got a 7 out of 10. In fact, you have gaming journalists right now publishing articles about how Black Myth Wukong should not be a contender for Game of the Year because of the culture war. Why on earth should that have any impact whatsoever on what is called the Game of the Year? Black Myth Wukong was an amazing story. It had amazing visuals. It was amazing gameplay. I played it. I loved it. It was great stuff. And it's not going to be considered for Game of the Year because of tweets.
Well, and stuff like that. But here's the fun fact. Like, obviously, stuff like that compels me to want to vote for Wukong more. When I hear
Wukong
shit like
was the 7th most highest number of current players in any game on Steam. 7th. It had 2.5 million players playing it on release. Like, obviously it was like the Streisand effect. And because of all the bullshit, people actually decided to play it. But
exactly. I haven't even played it yet, which I do want to play it.
The media, the IGNs of the world, gave it a 7 out of 10, and are removing it from the Game of the Awards lists and shit like that.
Wait, they did remove it, or they're trying to remove it?
They're trying. They're writing articles why it shouldn't be nominated.
Nominated.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope that's probably just gonna make people want to. I think that's where we're at right now.
But I don't think the nominations are based on votes. I think the nominations are based on the Game Awards.
Oh fuck. Well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That could be a problem. Well, didn't somebody literally say on Twitter, didn't they mock the whole go woke, go broke, and then they showed a picture of how quote unquote good Dragon Age Veilguard was doing, but it was only doing like 77,000, and then literally it tanked right after that, and it's just like, I mean, Dragon Age Veilguard, I think only got as many people as it did get was because it was a meme game at that point, because everybody was seeing the memes and they were like, there's no way it's this bad.
I don't think it was a meme game. I think it was largely because of the actual Dragon Age community that liked the last 3 games or 2 games and 3.
Well, I think those guys were, of course, there, right? Like, when you love a game, you love a game. But so beyond that, I think
beyond that, why would they try it? They saw the clips.
Well,
hate watching
that's nostalgia.
Is good. I like hate watching. I hate watch all the time. If you tell me that there's actual dog shit content out there, I will love to watch it. But A, that's just me. I'm a bit of a psycho. And B, it's free. I ain't paying $60 to watch Velma. Okay.
Are you sure? You say that, but then one day Velma's gonna come out and say this is a $60 Velma movie that you've all been waiting for.
Well, this might be a surprise to you, all right? Because it's a surprise to me. I went to LA, and I figured, I'm probably going to bump into some celebrity. I'm going to probably bump into some celebrity at some point. Who knows who it'll be? Guess who it was?
The voice actor for Velma?
Mindy Kaling, the voice actress and writer for Velma.
How did that even happen?
I couldn't believe it. I actually didn't speak. I didn't say hi. I didn't speak because I was afraid she would recognize my voice from all my Velma hate videos.
They might have actually got across
your terrified.
You were like, huh? Where were you that you... I mean, you probably can't say.
I was at Warner Brothers, and I saw the special Mindy Kaling parking spot, and she pulls in, she walks out of the car, and the person that was giving us a tour was like, oh, let me introduce you guys, kind of thing. And I was like,
no.
It was very funny. It was actual fate. Yeah.
Hey, Mindy, sorry, I got a little bit of a sickness.
I ain't getting doxxed by Mindy Kaling, okay? Get the fuck
out of all She fucking tweets instantly. I know who this motherfucker Taku is.
Oh, no. No.
She's gonna rally the mainstream media against your ass.
Yeah, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan will destroy you.
Oh, holy cow. That is great. That is wonderful. I'm so proud of you.
So there is such a crazy amount of like real like professional levels of bullshit out there, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it just doesn't even like, again, I don't know how they're gonna recover from this. Because now social media has already proven, especially with the Trump campaign, that it can predict things a lot better. Like, mainstream media absolutely is dug themselves into a massive grave.
You know the funny thing? It's like, you know how when, someone's biased about something.
Right.
And if you're gonna let them get away with being biased, they'll eventually just start lying for the sake of their biases.
Yeah, and, like, I'm biased for my cats, so I will always lie in favor of my cats against you.
That makes perfect sense. See, I'm biased against you, and therefore, sooner or later, you might be hearing some wild misinformation about Hermes.
Oh my gosh, could you do that sooner?
No.
I would love to see what
Only
kind of,
at
like,
the
you
right
just have
time.
a whole, can you have a whole Hermes video where you're just slandering the fuck out of me?
You are way too much, way too much of a narcissist to think that you're getting a full dedicated video.
I mean, me being a narcissist explains exactly why I think I would get a full video. Matter of fact, you'd probably do a full 40-minute video of just shit-talking me.
I don't think so.
Yeah, and then it would be like,
so.
I would love to hear the kind of misinformation and shit-talking you would do. I'd fall asleep to that video.
Yeah. So anyway,
how mean do you think Nux would get, guys?
I wouldn't get mean because I would not talk about you. I just wouldn't talk about you.
It'd just be a 40-minute video of silence.
Yep. I'd be like Hermes, and then I'd just be silent and like shake back and forth a little bit. Like,
well, you heard it here first, guys. I am the only person to be able to shut Nux Taku up for a full 40 minutes. Holy cow!
Well, I would just put it on loop. I would put it on loop. I wouldn't like actually be there the whole time.
Oh, you'd actually just walk away from your. Yeah. I mean, you're a VTuber. You could just walk away from the camera.
That's exactly what I would do.
We'd hear you like cooking dinner in the background or something, and watching more Arcane, and then eating some chips.
Yeah. Another famous, like, obvious misinformation campaign was, like, the Assassin's Creed Shadows thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, they kept saying how, Yasuke, right? The main character of Assassin's Creed Shadow is black. And it's like, okay, all right, a black samurai. And they're like, and it's completely historically accurate. And then everyone's like, whoa! Whoa! And it was like, nope, he was not a samurai. He was never referred to as a samurai. He was like a bodyguard type dude, but he was never a samurai. And it's like, don't worry. You're a racist.
I heard about all that. I didn't realize that he wasn't actually a samurai.
So there's like conflicting sources. Like the Wikipedia page gets changed like every 2 days as people fight about it. But according to basically everybody, he was never a samurai. He was like one of Nobunaga's like subordinates, I think.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, I think the bigger problem in situations like that is the fact that everybody's going to war over, like, because by the sounds of it, nobody really technically knows. It seems like there's actually conflicting information, but yet everybody, like the mainstream media, is being like, "You're a racist if you think otherwise," and then other people are like,
"But the thing is, you're supposed to be just sneaking around in Assassin's Creed, blending in with the crowd, bro. I don't want to be racist here, but there was one black guy in all of Japan. He's not blending in with anybody, okay? Like, bro, you went stealth sneaking around. It's like, I wonder where he could be. All right, dude."
Does Assassin's Creed still play by that set of rules though? Because I thought they did like a whole pirate game too.
Well, it's not out yet, but we'll see. If they're all stealthy, I'm gonna laugh a lot.
Because he'd be like super tall too, wouldn't he?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh man. Yeah.
That was gonna be awesome. Well, but like, Ubisoft, didn't Ubisoft hire Sweet Baby Ray or whatever, Sweet Baby Inc.
I don't know if it was Sweet Baby Inc. specifically, but I mean, one of those fuckers.
That's what makes me extremely worried. Because now we're getting into the same exact rant I had with Dragon Age, where I wouldn't care if somebody that knew the like in-depth lore, knew the things, knew the struggles of what it would be like to be a black man in Japan in feudal Japan era, like all this other stuff, and then they poured all that knowledge into the story, and also, that's what you played out.
If they made up a fictional dude in Japan and be like, this is the story of a black guy who was originally shipped to Japan to, you know, as like a slave trafficking, and he ended up escaping and making a name for himself, and it was a complete fictional story based on that. I don't even think people would complain. But like, it's like saying, no, this is actually historically accurate. And it's like, all right, guys, like, we know what you're doing, okay? You're not trying to tell a good story. You're trying to shoehorn politics into everything.
Exactly. And for some reason, that feels like it's the hardest fucking thing for politics to understand, or social media, or fucking mainstream media. I don't even care. It's not about that. It's about telling a good story. If you tell a good story, nobody cares if there's gay people there. Nobody cares if you're telling the story of the black man in Japan.
It's a story
like,
as old as time. Right now, the West is trying to censor Japanese anime. Like, I didn't dive too deep into that specifically, but like, as an example, right? You got the one of the One Piece writers for the live action One Piece talking about how you never watched One Piece because you're fucking lame. But
I'm amazing. I'm beyond you.
There's this like king of Drum Island, like Wapol.
Drum Island,
and his name is Wapol, and he's like his big asshole and shit. And okay, this was the guy's tweet from one of the One Piece guys. Not my friend. I have a friend that works on One Piece, the screenwriter for the One Piece live action. Not him. Yeah. Different guy. Says, One Piece inspirations. The greedy and petulant Wapol is based on Donald Trump, whose family name comes from the German Drumpf. Hence, Drum Island gets his name. By the way, this is not what happened in One Piece, okay? At all. In the One Piece story, this happened in like... These chapters came out in like the year 2001. This was a long time ago. But in the actual live action, they want to make this guy now retroactively be based on Trump and change the reasonings for why the island got its name based on Trump's name.
Why? What are they gonna say? Like Trump cards, like when you're playing card games and stuff like that. And a Trump card is now just gonna be.
And the funniest thing is the reason why Oda, the writer of One Piece, named Drum Island was because of drum rock in Canada. That was his inspiration for it. But they are retroactively changing the inspiration for Drum Island to be named after Trump. It's like,
why?
I mean, I doubt this will end up going through. I highly doubt it. But like,
but the fact
what
that
are you
it's
doing?
even a conversation. Yeah,
well,
the
why
fact
are you
it's even
this?
happening. Yeah. And it's so, I'm so fucking sick. I'm just so sick of politics in my fucking video games. And this is something, I mean, dude, I'm gonna lay it out. I'm gonna lay it out straight up. This isn't something that's technically new, because every single time something big happened in the video game timeline, there was always politics that were all pissed off and angry at the video game because it was going to influence the generation and blah, blah, blah. Like, again, Mass Effect, when Mass Effect came out, freaking Republicans hated that because there was gays in it, and freaking everybody that played Mass Effect was just like, rolls eyes, let me be gay if I want to be gay in my spaceship, get out of here. And then Manhunt, of course, was an extremely brutal game, and it sparked all kinds of, like, the Democrats are all freaking out, and it's just like,
it's the gaslighting, the lying, and another thing that they like doing is omitting obvious information. Like, you'll have people covering Twitch drama, like Dexerto and all those other ones, and like, they'll cover every time Twitch streamer banned for too much boob, right? And then they'll make a whole ass article about that, all right?
And it's always
like
about...
the most, and they take quotes from streamers. It's like, Pokimane farts on stream, and it's like a whole article, you know, like some stupid shit like that. And then it turns out, you know, you have like this massive this situation of, you know, Arab to Jew tier lists happening on Twitch, interviewing terrorists, like the chief of the trust and safety team being someone that was fired from her previous post because of anti-Semitism, and like all this shit, radio silence. Like the news agency, I don't want to touch that.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's always about like, rolling back to like the previous thing too, like they always try to spin it in some freaking way where it's like it's harming the children, or we got to think about this, or you need to worry if you don't do this, you're a bad person. Like it's these low tier gaslighty bullshit tactics, and it's just like, shut up, get out of my video game.
You are not important.
Yeah, go. Let me just get the team of 5 people that have a vision. Let them make their video game. And how about all of you fucking shut up? Like, shut up. Like, get out of here. Because whatever they say is.
You get like actually annoyed.
Because it's just because you're right. They don't even know what they're fucking saying anymore. I'm sure they haven't even played a fucking video game.
No,
they probably
my
never played a video
like,
game in their life.
The game journalists that, like, people used to make fun of game journalists for not playing the video games they reviewed, right? Like, as an example, I remember Cuphead came out, and a journalist said, like, they rated Cuphead low because they never beat the first level of Cuphead. And it's like, wait. You're rating this game low because you suck at games?
Yeah, because you literally suck at video games? Fuck off.
Like, people used to make fun of them for that, but at least they were honest.
Yeah.
At least that was relatively honest. Yeah, you're stupid and shitty, and you shouldn't be a journalist.
He still should.
But you were honest.
Like he shouldn't have fucking rated it so low. But because there's when you have the power to do a rating, you shouldn't be like, I suck at video games, ergo I'm rating this game low. It literally should be like, I am not capable of handling challenging video games, and it lived up to its standard.
Bro, don't review it. Like, why are you jumping through hoops? Don't review it. Get someone else to review it.
Point taken. Yeah, point taken. Point taken. Just fucking give it to somebody else.
What are you doing? It's like the same thing with Hogwarts Legacy. Well, you'll have people being like, all right, so I'm reviewing this. I'm rating it a 1 out of 10. Did I play it?
Like, why?
No, but I don't like J.K. Rowling. It's like, bro, what are you doing? This isn't a game review.
Yeah.
So don't review it. Yeah. No one's forcing you to review it.
Get away. Get out of here. And yeah, and it's becoming more blatantly clear that these people don't play the fucking video games. Like, same thing, probably the same exact fucking thing that's going on with anime and shit like that, where people are freaking mainstream is freaking out, or whatever is freaking out about trying to censor Japanese anime, manga, all this other shit because, oh my gosh, it's influencing the younger generation and we need to protect them.
I don't even think it's the influencing the younger generation. I think people want to feel important. People want to feel like they're making a difference. And they don't. They're like useless humans. They're humans that don't like their own lives, so they feel like they have the need to impact the universe with what they're doing. I think that's some of them, and then I think some of them are literally just paid to lie.
Yeah,
I literally think they're just paid to lie.
Probably.
Like, I don't trust the word they're saying. Like,
definitely
if
not
there's
now.
an agenda to why you're saying it, I'm not gonna believe that you're saying it. Like, if you're gonna tell a story about a cat that got stuck in a tree and some shit, like, I'll believe you that happened because you don't need to make that up. But if there's anything that you have any reason to make up, I just won't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, not just a grain of salt. I will just, like, delete it from my mind. I care so little.
Yeah. Exactly. And
bro, like,
it's going to be hard to even come back. Well, yeah, it's absolutely wild. And I don't know, they're going to have to rebrand or some shit, because I'm with you. I'm in that same boat. I'm checked out so hardcore when it comes to freaking media nowadays, because I'm like, why am I even wasting my time with this? I could be playing a video game. Like, I could actually just be playing a video game.
At some point, like, it's not just a matter of is nothing sacred, okay? That's not even the point that I'm trying to make. Because obviously, I think to these people, nothing is sacred. It's all about, money and image and
influence,
agenda and influence.
Fame.
Yeah, stuff like that. Well, fame, power. These and many other things are what the King of the Pirates promised you that you would find in the Grand Line. But the thing is, I don't even know if it's like the influence shit as much as it's just so tiring. It's tiring. Mm-hmm. It's not just politics. It's video games. When I see misinformation in a game review, I enjoy it. I like the chaos of it. I like making content out of it. I like just having a good time making fun of these losers, okay? Yeah. Because I really do like that. It brings me joy. But in my personal life, when I'm trying to find a good show to watch, it's so annoying. Like,
well, I think
to you plebeians out there that don't literally make money off the lies of bullshitters out there, it must suck.
Yep.
It must suck so much.
It's exactly.
Like, dude, I'm trying to watch a good show, and I see it, and it's rated highly, and then I watch it, and it's just fucking, gay sex for the whole first episode. And it's like, then I'll actually read the review, and it's like, oh, it's so inclusive and smart and wise. And it's like, bro, I want to watch a good show, and then I'll pick up another show, and I'll see it. The review is 4 out of 10. Lack of diversity. And it's like, oh, lack of diversity. This is, like, really scary that there's a lack of diversity. And then it'll be, like, the most diverse universe on the planet. It's just not directly linked to modern issues.
Yeah. And that exactly...
Black Myth Wukong had a lack of diversity. You played as a fucking monkey. Okay?
Well, Final Fantasy 14 got hit with this too, which I got really fucking revved up over this situation because Final Fantasy 14 has overall an extremely it has a community. It has a community that's extremely passionate about Final Fantasy. And that's good. I think it's fine. But what ended up happening was freaking Final Fantasy 14 came out, and so Final Fantasy 14 is led by Yoshi P. Yoshi P also directed Final Fantasy 16, and Final Fantasy 16's cast is like I think pretty much all white people.
Nice.
Maybe I can't. Yeah, and it fucking exploded across everything, where the DEI thing, where literally everybody was death threats. Like Yoshi P had to make an announcement. Like he went on and he made an announcement, and he pretty much said the same exact shit you and I have said here, except nicer. But he's like, he doesn't know that culture and everything, so him or his staff didn't feel comfortable like writing in other cultures because they didn't really know how to well write it, and he didn't feel like they would do it justice, so they kind of just stayed within their comfort zone because they wanted to deliver an extremely good game with like good story, and it's a great game with a great story.
Yeah.
But everybody was just, they were literally, and he had to ask them to stop sending death threats to the staff because he was like,
Damn.
what? And I was like, this not a good look for anybody. People see this shit. Like the average person that's playing Final Fantasy 14 or whatever sees this shit and they're like, who the fuck is sending death threats to Yoshi P's team? Like, what do you fucking mean? And it's just annoying. Like, and it bothers me too because, you have these people who want to pour, the people that actually are genuinely extremely passionate about what their craft and what they're doing, and they really want to just create a great game to give to the world, and then somebody out there decides that it's not inclusive enough and for whatever reason, and then the death threats come in. These people, they just tried to create something they love, and then a flood of death threats come in. People are saying some of the most horrendous things to them. Yeah, you wouldn't know that. I mean, you're an angel online.
See,
you're
I get
a
lot
saint
of death
online.
threats, but like,
no, of course you don't. You don't.
I don't mind. I make content out of it. Like, my death threats are attacked right off. What can I say?
Your death threats are attacked right off.
Aside from just the bad media bias, like it's just like the obvious lies and the way the lies are pushed and promoted, even though like it's known that they're not real. Like, just again, I see a lot more anti-Trump media than anti-anyone else media because that dude gets a lot more hate than I do. All right, that's
maybe a little bit.
But then again, I am a much nicer guy, so I stand.
Are you?
I stand by that. Yes, I am. I am.
Let's wait to be seen. Who knows? Trump could actually bring America into the golden age
that doesn't make him a nice
prosperity.
Guy. Okay.
But at the end of the day, it's not about if he's a nice guy or whatever. It's about if I get to have $600,000 in my bank account or not. What do you mean?
No, but the thing is, like, the amount of times the media says that Trump colluded with Russia to win in 2016, which is just, that was not true. That was, like, actually debunked. Debunked. Right? Like, you hear so many things that Trump had a Muslim ban. That didn't happen, right? That the 2017 tax cuts were only for rich people. But that wasn't the case either. Right? The Ukraine impeachment of Trump. Obama goes on stage and talks about how Trump called white nationalists fine young people. And from that clip, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. He said a lot of people come to my rallies, a lot of fine young people. There are also white nationalists, and I disavow them, but that doesn't matter because that's how it's taken out of context. Like there are so many. There's like I could keep listing lies about everyone. Well,
and that's the crazy thing about everything too. It's so hard to even figure out what a truth is anymore.
Yeah,
and
it's impossible.
And as you said earlier too, the big problem, like you said, you enjoy doing the drama content and everything like that, but it gets exhausting when there's not even a single fucking source that you can go to that you can trust and believe in anymore, right? Like,
but
it's
here's the
all
thing. You know who I do believe? I believe
Asmongold?
People that have reputations that would hurt if they're wrong.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Yep.
Repercussions matter. Okay?
Yep.
If their reputation would be hurt if they're wrong, it is incentivizing them to not be wrong.
Yep.
See, I think that for the most part, people in politics, whether they're on the right or on the left, even if they're wrong, as long as they're promoting their side, people will forgive them.
Yep.
And that's really stupid. Like, that's really, really sad.
Yeah. And I don't even know how you can technically, because at the end of the day, a lot of people, I mean, humanity is kind of built on this idea of us versus them, right? And even though...
What?
Yeah.
Not my humanity, unless we're talking about men versus women. Because the gender war is something that supersedes all battles.
Don't worry. We'll get our dues. I'm gonna put fucking mustard on your mayo sandwich, and you're gonna be fucking. Wait, hold on. You like mustard? Wait, what?
Oh no.
Oh, gross. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put, I don't know, something you don't like. What do you not like?
You are such a fool. I like all food.
You like all?
I like all food.
Ah, shit! My one weakness. Somebody that will eat everything.
Ah, yes. I am literally overpowered. The amount, dude, you don't understand. Like, I no-lifed, content and shit for like a couple years back there, bro. My diet consisted of 100% instant soup, instant noodles. Okay, like
I was gonna say, was it ramen?
At this point, everything's good. No, I'm joking. I never had like I never no-lifed it. That was like that was a joke.
It was probably
like, I ate pretty unhealthy for a bit, to be honest.
What is pretty unhealthy on you? Because I have actually no-lifed ramen noodles.
Okay, I had a lot of ramen noodles. Like that was like a good. That was probably my dinner, like a good 4 times a week for like a few years.
Yeah, cup of noodles too. Oh, those were amazing.
Oh,
you
man,
just sit down.
Good,
you just go. Oh, yeah. Don't you forget. I am a unapologetic sweaty gamer. I will happily raise the flag of cup ramen noodles. All right, cup o noodles.
True and fair, but ultimately, it's kind of wild, and it's kind of wild to live in an age where not only do you assume there's a media bias and media lies, but you actually see it. Like, you actually see it.
I would actually like to see what a lot of the analytics look on that. I'm curious how many...
When I see meltdowns, like there were a lot of post-election meltdowns. They're very fun to watch. People just freaking out, talking about how they have no more rights. Like, I saw this one person crying about how she's afraid she'll wake up in slavery. Like, you have a lot of people that I feel like don't exactly know what's going on. But, like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
That panic is induced.
It's real.
It's real panic. Induced by exaggerations.
Influence. Yep.
Exaggerations. Trump was president already for 4 years, and he did not bring back slavery. Okay?
Yeah, he went golfing a lot. That's why I keep sitting back and I'm like, listen, he could do all these changes, or he could just spend the entire time golfing.
A Holocaust survivor, by the way. He said.
Yeah, if he's a.
It was wild how he said that. He was like he read he was reading the New York Times, and he saw how they called him Hitler, and he was like, that's weird. Hitler didn't allow free speech. And I was like, whoa. I was like, yeah. God damn.
I would do if I'm ever in the vicinity of your grandpa, I could have a conversation with him. I would freaking, that'd be crazy.
Oh, he's such a wonderful man. I love him so much.
I would love to pick his brain. Like, no joke. I would be like, so tell me about the Holocaust.
He would.
Huh? No, perfect.
He would. You don't understand.
That's exactly.
I've
heard
his stories. Like he would he would sit down and I lived with my grandparents for a couple of years. And he would just tell me stories like at dinner, like what their family like was before the war, because they were all killed except for him and his father survived, so, like separately. Everyone else was killed.
Damn, that's crazy. Like the fact that they were even like able to find each other after that is insane in my head.
Yeah, it is. I could. So he would tell me stories like the amount of detail,
like insane in a good way. Like it just feels like it was so okay.
And he would describe it like from A to Z. He's like, this is where I was 1939. This is where I was 1940. This is, and like he would. Like, dude, it was mind-boggling. Like the amount of stories he had. Like, he's scared of dogs because he went on a death march where the Nazis murdered everyone in the camp. They took all the Jews out of the camp on a death march, and they would all walk into the forest, and they would all get shot, and they'd all fall down. And
he lived.
They would have German shepherds sniffing all the bodies to make sure the people were dead. And they were sniffing around. They would sniff body and after body, and every time they would sniff one, it would be the person would be alive. They would bark. A Nazi would come and shoot the person.
Holy crap! The dogs
sniffed my grandfather, who was playing dead. For some reason, didn't bark, and they left him there because they thought he was dead.
Holy crap!
Yeah, and he. So after that, I'm telling you, my grandfather is like the ultimate badass. He ended up sneaking into a different concentration camp where his father was to steal food for him. And that's how my great-grandfather survived the war.
Holy crap. Well, that's like...
Yeah.
I feel like your grandpa
that's one story of 6 years of war. One story. That's not his craziest.
Yeah.
But
well, that's what, like...
God. Like,
I feel like having like a sit down with somebody like your grandpa would be, in my opinion, we are all way off topic at this point.
Yeah,
but
anyway,
kind of in a way,
media misinformation. People denying the Holocaust. People denying it.
Well, that's the thing. Like he has, that would probably be an actual one in a lifetime kind of experience, because you can sit down and you could really get the firsthand experience of what somebody lived through and have a very unique understanding in a modern day world that loves to have a whole shit ton of opinions that they know nothing about, right? Yeah. So it's like that
dude's a badass. Like, I have nothing but love and respect for him. He's like 100. He's awesome.
Well, then, see, there you go. When we meeting up, we're gonna go hang out with your grandpa.
I would not trust my grandfather with you, vixen.
Listen, your opinion doesn't matter in this. I said, when are we meeting up to go hang out with your grandpa?
We'll discuss another time. Oh my, look at the time. Look at the time. Wow. I think that wraps up this episode.
Wow, you're
Good
running
times.
away, Colin.
Yes. All right, next time Sneeko denies the Holocaust, feel free to send him elevator's end of this podcast.
Yeah. We'll get your grandpa on the podcast with Sneeko as he denies it. How about that?
No, I would never put my grandfather in that position where someone denies something like that.
Oh, I thought your grandpa was going to rip him apart.
Bro's 100 years old. He still gets PTSD. Like, I was in the house with him. A mirror shattered in the other room, and he screamed, "Zerschießt, zerschießt," which is German for they're shooting. Like screaming, right?
Yeah, and I didn't even think about PTSD.
Dude, you have no idea. You have no idea.
Poor guy. I'd give him a hug.
Yeah. No, he's a wonderful man. But anyway, so I would never put him in the position to actually need to talk to Sneeko.
Well, he survived.
Sneeko's a waste of oxygen, and I don't think I need my grandfather needs to suffer through talking to someone as insufferable as that piece of shit.
True. Absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah. Well, anywho, that's been this episode of the Unhinged podcast. Do not believe what you hear online, especially from us, because we have an agenda here. What's our agenda again?
Absolutely. Mine's to play video games.
Right. We have an agenda, as I was saying. Don't trust us. Do not trust YouTubers or influencers, but at least YouTubers and influencers are people with reputations. Especially don't trust the journalism. All right, don't trust game journalists. Don't trust media journalists. Don't trust fucking political journalists. No one knows what they're talking about. Everyone is just feeding each other lies. It's a human centipede of lies out there. If anyone has any reason to lie to you, assume that they are lying to you. Definitely check out Hermes. Her links are in the description, of course.
I am, real quick, I am actually the humblest and honest and most truthful goddess to ever have godded and lived on the mortal plane. So be sure to understand that while he said all that stuff, you can trust me, for I am honest and truthful. And every word that describes facts. Anyways, yeah.
Editor, cut all that out. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe. Subscribe. Thank you for being here. And remember to stay weird, babe.